Thank you. Thank you very much. Good afternoon. Thank you for being here. Would you just give the person next to you a hand for showing up today? We do appreciate that. We do appreciate that. Welcome to the Community of Faith Church. My name is James Dixon, the lead servant here, and I'm honored that you have come for this very, very important discussion and conversation. Before we have the agenda items that we're going to be discussing in great detail, we're thankful to have representatives of the media here with us today, because we're going to make a statement to the press. And after we make the statement to the press, then we're going to have some longer discussion, all right, some lengthy discussion. I want to ask the leaders of our coalition to come stand with me, please. Leaders of our coalition, just come, all members of the coalition, come and stand. We're grateful to have our board members and labor leaders, our legal team, faith leaders, elected officials. Would you all come and stand? And of course, when we say elected officials, we have top elected officials here with us as well. Of course, we got State Representative Yolanda Jones. I think she may be still here. She's had to head out to Austin. But we've got the mayor of the city of Houston is with us today, Mayor Sylvester Turner, and Congressman Al Green. Give them both a warm reception, if you will, please. We're so delighted that we are here. So delighted. Pastor Fields, we've got our faith leaders come on and stand with us. We're grateful to have you with us, all faith leaders as well. And the principal of Wheatley High School, representing our Principals Coalition. Thank you so very much for being with us on this afternoon. Again, my name is Bishop James Dixon, president of the Houston NAACP. And in this slide, of course, glad to be a member of the Stop the Hostile Takeover of HISD Coalition. And we're grateful to have our parents represented here and our educators represented here. And this is a very, very, very committed group of individuals who understand in a very basic and fundamental way that public schools should remain under public control. That public schools should remain under public control. Do you believe that? Public schools should remain under public control. Public schools should remain under public control. Public schools should remain under public control. We wholeheartedly believe that. And we also believe that when public schools are no longer under public control, they are no longer public schools. And that what the governor of our state and what TEA is endeavoring to do is to take advantage of the assets that HISD has and to turn those assets over to the hands of a board of managers that works solely under the authority of TEA Commissioner Mike Moore Rath and under the auspices and control of Governor Abbott. We are adamantly, unequivocally, unapologetically, unashamedly opposed to that action. But we're also here to say collectively that we are opposed to the lack of transparency. The fact that this governor and commissioner have not been transparent about the process, have never had meaningful conversations with our legislators, and especially not with the parents and the key stakeholders in HISD and in the Houston community. It is more than far-fetched. It is hard to imagine that this kind of definitive action has taken place where there's not been community discussion, have not had community engagement and interaction. In fact, clearly they have sidestepped and purposely evaded and avoided having conversation with the parents in HISD. They've had conversations with parents in other places, but not with the parents of HISD. And we're here to say that even the meeting that was held in Houston yesterday with Commissioner Mike Morath in Houston, in Fifth Ward, at Hester House, with a handful of selected people, that meeting was a sham, a disgrace, and those people do not represent the people in this room, the people on this stage, and the parents and children of HISD. And we want to say to those who would meet with them behind closed doors in so-called secrecy, shame on you for holding secret meetings with public officials about the destiny of 194,000 students and leaving everyone else out of the room. I don't know about you, but I don't want anybody speaking for my children and I'm not there. Do you agree that we're opposed to those kind of secret meetings? We want a public meeting, a public conversation with all of us who want to be in the room on behalf of the children of HISD. And so we will be extending a more formal invitation. We've done it already, but we'll do it again. We're going to extend a formal invitation to Governor Abbott, to Commissioner Mike Morath. Be in Houston on next Sunday afternoon at 3:00 p.m. for a legitimate community town hall conversation. We believe that our public officials owe a public appearance. We believe our public officials owe us a public appearance. We believe our public officials owe us a public appearance. And if you can't go public with the conversation, there must be something to hide. So we're extending that invite for next Sunday, and we need all of you to fill that room with parents and students and stakeholders, because we want to have a conversation. We've got some questions that only the governor can answer, and some questions that only the commissioner can answer, and some questions that only we and our parents can ask. At this time, I want to give an opportunity for our congressman and then our mayor to have a remark, and then we will proceed with the remainder of our discussion for today. Would you receive with me the congressman of the 9th Congressional District, Congressman Al Green?
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, all of you. And I want you to know that we are blessed to be in this edifice led by a great pastor. I think that leadership makes a difference. And I think that when you have good leadership, you should acknowledge it. Why don't we acknowledge the good leadership of Pastor Bishop James Dixon? The great leadership, the leadership that brings people together, the leadership that's making a difference. Thank you, Bishop. Thank you. Thank all of the members of the coalition. I especially thank this mayor. There are many who would say, Mayor, school business is not your business. That's right. There are people who would say, why don't you find something else to do on a Sunday? Yeah. But that's not what we say. That's not what we say. We say you have been a mayor for the people. You have been a mayor with the people, and the people are with you, and you're in the right place at the right time with the right people. We love you, Mayor. Give him a hand, please. The mayor of the city of Houston, one of the great mayors in the United States of America. Now, I am going to say a couple of words, Bishop, and I promise that was I had to get that off my chest, okay? All right, so thank you. But this is important, dear friends. You cannot take over a school system without the cooperation and participation of the parents. You can't. You can try to circumvent parental engagement. You can do all of the things that you have done, but you still need the parents. And you still need the people who parents entrust their children to, and they are the teachers. You've got to have the parents and the teachers. And the parents and the teachers that I have visited with are saying they don't want the state to take over their school because, as the bishop has put it, it's more than a takeover. It's a takedown. It's a takedown, and they don't want that. They don't want it. The parents and the teachers are going to have the last word. I guarantee you that. They will have the last word. And I'm going to speak on behalf of them. I have the audacity to say this. Mr. Governor, please have the decency and respect to meet with the people that you're impacting, the lives that you're disrupting. Have the decency and the respect, just the decency to show up, just to come before them. 200,000 children, and you don't have the decency? What is wrong with you? So I just want to say to the governor, I'm with the parents and the teachers. You with your men that you send here and women and people you're going to put in place, and one person who's going to be a superintendent that you have chosen, and he will choose a school board. That's not the way the system is supposed to work. So friends, the last word belongs to you. And I promise you that I will be with you until the end. I will not desert you. I will stand with you, and we will stand together, and we will fight together, and we'll let the governor know that you can issue all of the edicts you want, but you got to have our participation and cooperation.
Thank you, Congressman Green. And certainly our mayor has been introduced, spoken of. We know him well, but I don't think that it is a waste of words to reiterate how fortunate we are to have a champion for the people, a champion for purpose, and a champion for children in our midst today, our mayor, Sylvester Turner.
Thanks, Bishop. Thank you. Look, let me just say that one of the reasons why this issue is so important is because I have the privilege of representing those 194,000 kids. These are Houstonians. The teachers are Houstonians. The cafeteria workers are Houstonians. The custodial workers are Houstonians. The bus drivers are Houstonians. And let me tell you, if you wanna hurt a city, you destroy a school district. And HISD happens to be the largest school district in the state of Texas. I'm just going to be very, very brief. Everything that I've read and everything that has been reported or put in the Chronicle even last week said that when the state takes over our school districts, in most cases, the performance of those kids goes down. And the studies say, even if you look at the Kinder report, that the performance goes down for the next 4 to 5 years before the kids come back to the pre-takeover level. The other day at Westbury, at the town hall meeting, the deputy commissioner said to the parents there, this is not about the children. This is not about the parents. This is not about the the teachers. That's what he said. Well, if it's not about the children
Go say it, Mayor.
or the parents or the teachers, then what is it about? And then he said, well, it's about the school board.
That's what he said.
But most of the members of the school board are new. And if it's just about them, then why are you removing the superintendent? And then lastly, I would say this. What was so piercing to me is that on that first night at Westbury, I was watching all of the channels. The governor was in town, down the street in Cyprus, on the same night. And he told those parents, parents matter. Your voices matter.
In Cyprus.
And they were promoting giving vouchers of $8,000 to those parents
In Cyprus.
in Cyprus
That's right.
so that they could go to private schools.
That's right.
But on the same night, at the same time, at Westbury, those parents were standing up
Yes, speaking up.
and they were speaking up. And those parents were being told what's going to happen to their schools and their children. If parents matter in Cyprus, then parents matter in HISD. If parents matter in Cyprus, parents matter in HISD. And there comes a time when parents and teachers and students and cafeteria workers and custodial workers and bus drivers and community leaders need to stand up and say, just because you say it's going to take place, it doesn't necessarily have to take place. And we are not going to allow anyone to hurt our children. These are our children, and it's important that we stand up for our children. Thank you, Bishop. Thank all of you. Look forward to joining with you as we go forward.
Thank you, Mayor Turner. I want to ask Ms. Jackie Anderson, who's with Houston Federation of Teachers, to speak on behalf of our union's labor today. As she prepares to come, I see Claude Collins is here, he's with CWA. We've got all of the labor unions on board collectively working on this. And as the mayor said, it takes all of that for a school district to operate. And if you don't have the cooperation of labor, you can't function. But here is what I want to say to us. I'm confused, Mayor. I'm confused about what you just mentioned. The deputy commissioner verbally acknowledged when he said it was about the school board. We do have a new board. And Superintendent House, in 19 months, had a track record of drastic improvement and performance. So if that's not debatable, it's there for the data speaks. How do you fire someone who's performing and improving conditions for the children and for the schools? And why would you replace a winning leader? How do you punish success? And I'm saying to all of us, we should be advocating for the people who are making a positive difference for our children. Because if you take out those who are helping our children, you really are saying you don't want to see our children succeed. Because if he was failing our children, we would want to take him out. Parents have enough sense to know who's not good for their own children. So if the district was failing under Superintendent House, we wouldn't need Maraf to tell us that. We would be saying to the board, get rid of the superintendent. Secondly, How do you punish a district that you scored a B plus? Here we are, a district that is number 40 in terms of school funding. This state, Texas is 40th in terms of school funding. So our schools are documented to be underfunded and still performing at a B plus. Right. What would happen if we were sufficiently funded? If our teachers and our students and our parents can earn a B plus underfunded, can you imagine how they would succeed and soar if they had ample resources? No, come on, please hear me. It seems to me that somebody may be afraid of the true potential of our students, because if they can succeed with a playing field that's not fair, can you imagine what we would produce in schools in Acres Homes and Fifth Ward and Sunnyside and Third Ward and South Park if they had ample funding, ample facilities, ample libraries, ample counselors? What if they had everything that the suburban schools had? And so we have those kinds of questions. On behalf of the teachers, Jackie Anderson speaks for HFT and all of our labor unions today. We are in this fight for the right reasons, and she's a warrior for our children and our students. This is Labor, Jackie Anderson.
Thank you, Bishop. And I want to thank personally all of our coalition partners who are supporting us in this fight. I say fight. They're trying to take us back to Jim Crow, but we're not going there. We are not going to be a part of this type of taxation without representation. Yeah, I'm angry today because we have some people that will go and meet with Mike Morath in a secret closed door behind the scenes meeting, have the audacity to post my picture that I was at the meeting that I didn't know anything about. I happened to be at a panel discussion, but this is how if you think back, that's what happened. That's what happened. This meeting was held with Mike Morath and one of the state reps, I don't have to call his name, over in the Fifth Ward area. You didn't invite the trustee for that area. You didn't invite the principal of that school, but you had the audacity to include my name and my face and say that I owe my members answers. Let me tell you, my members know me, and they know that I would not deal with the likes of you. So don't even go there, and you know who you are. I was not at any meeting. I would not even grace a room with my presence at your meeting. I don't go there. These are the people I stand with right here. The people who have my back, the people who have the back of the teachers, the people who have the back of the support workers, the people who have who speak for the community like we do. So, Mr. Morath, you went to that meeting, come to our meeting. Come talk to us. We are the ones who are representing the 194,000 students, the 27,000 teachers, and everybody else that have something good for HISD. Thank you very much.
Can you process that? How does a public official feel comfortable in meetings where people will outright lie and post the picture of someone who was not at the meeting in an attempt to legitimize what's illegitimate? That's why we need parents, all of you who are part of this coalition, to mobilize, to organize, and to energize. And it's ultimately about the children, which is why we've got a parent here. I'm going to ask Ms. Nath to come and speak, because you represent parents and students in a way that people understand why this is personal, but also why it matters to all of us.
Thank you.
Y'all give her a
Thank-
hand. She's standing strong. Give her a hand, y'all.
Thank you so much. My name is Audrey Nath. I am a parent of a kindergartner at our neighborhood HISD school, Wharton Dual Language Academy. It is a beautiful school. There is tons of parental involvement. So I could not believe the news when I heard there was going to be a takeover, because no parent I've ever spoken to has asked for us to be taken over by the state. As a pediatric neurologist as well, I'm very, very concerned about special education funding and what is going to happen to our students with neurodevelopmental disabilities, particularly since they are saying that one of the criteria to come out of the state control is for our special education programs to meet federal standards. But how are we going to do that without the funding that we're not even getting now? So it really sounds like to me that we are using our students with disabilities as a scapegoat for some other plan that they want to keep in place forever. And I, as a parent, I'm not good with that. For any parents out there who are listening to this and are HISD parents, please join us in signing a petition to oppose the takeover. Please visit HoustonCVPE.org and please sign our petition. The Community Voices for Public Education, CVPE. Find HoustonCVPE.org and please sign our petition. HoustonCVPE.org. Thank you. Please join us.
Thank you so much, Audrey. And we're going to wrap up the speakers in a moment because we got other business to handle here with all of us. But I want to say how important it is that we do get parents to sign up on that website. We do need you to be a part of the movement, and it's a growing movement. And I want to say that, listen, we're honored to have board members of HISD who stand with this coalition. These individuals, yes, they were duly elected to represent the students of HISD by parents and citizens. This move takes away democracy. And the only reason they're taking it over is because when we keep electing board members who fight for our children, they want board members who are not about our children. I want you to have a word, Dr. Attorney, Lawyer Myrna Guidry, on behalf of our board members, along with Kathy Bluford Daniels. They're also warriors. Would you give them a big hand, please?
You gonna speak?
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you all for coming. Thank you, Bishop, and all of our leaders and elected officials and all of the coalition. But most of all, thank you all for
Yes.
showing up today.
Yes. Yes.
And we need you all to show up. I don't know if you all have noticed, but within the last couple of days, Commissioner Morath has changed takeover to intervention.
Right, right.
Let's be careful about these little changes that's slick, right? Just to give you all an easier feeling about it. It's a takeover, and it's a hostile takeover. Let's not forget that. Also, let's not be deceived. He is saying that he has to do this. That's simply not true. The law clearly gives him options. And one of the options is to repurpose, not even to close down Wheatley, but to repurpose Wheatley and turn it into something different, something better that I think we all could get around. He has chosen not to do that in order to take over not just Wheatley, but 174 other schools. All right, 274 other schools. Why is that necessary? That's a money grab. That's what that's about. That's a money grab. So stay with us. We're committed, and we're going to stay committed. Me and my dog right here. That's my dog, okay? And here and all around us. And we're ready to fight and to continue to fight. And we're going to make the offer to Mr. Morath. Instead of taking over the district, consider some of these other options that 39A0113 gives you.
That's lawyer talk.
39A111 gives you one option, but 39A113 gives you a whole different item and something else you can do for this district that would benefit the district. So stay with us. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. She said everything. I'm not going to be long-winded, but I do want to acknowledge some of my co-laborers in the movement even before I was on the board, which is why I was elected, because I was a community advocate. Mr. Larry McKenzie, Mr. Travis McGee, stand up. They on the ground, on the battlefield. On the ground and on the battlefield. And so many of us have been, and so we want to encourage you. Don't be a computer advocate. Let me say that again. Don't be a computer or social media advocate, because just like they're coming for my alma mater, Wheatley High School, because I am a proud graduate of such, just like they're coming for Wheatley High School, they're coming for your school next. And primarily those ones that are underpopulated, let me say that again, underpopulated, are in our particular districts, black and brown school districts. Yates, Worthing, Cashmere, Wheatley, all of those schools, Madison, Worthing, not Madison, I'm sorry, it's overpopulated. The rest of them are underpopulated. So when they start talking about collectively closing them or merging them, think about what school you graduated from and where it's located. Thank you very much.
We have had ample conversation for the media. We're going to cease this portion of our program so we can get into some nuts and bolts to give you some updates on our action agenda, and we'll go from there. We're not discussing actions in the media today, but I want you to know we have an action agenda. I will simply say this in closing for the media. Please take this statement. If we can't get righteous justice action from Mike Morath, we're going to advocate no wrath. Hope y'all catch that, because at this point, as Congressman Green said, we still believe the parents, the teachers, the students, and the community will have the last word, because we're not going away. Thank you so very much. Let's thank our media members for being here. We appreciate that. Let's take our seats and prepare for the rest of our meeting. Media, thank you all so very much.